and driving wind and rain can destroy your home. Hi, Phil Swift here. This storm season, get the entire family of Flex Seal products. Everyone loves Flex Seal, the easy way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. This rubberized coating creates a super strong barrier. It's actually liquid rubber in a can. And our incredible Flex Seal liquid starts out super thick and turns into a strong, flexible rubber. Brush, roll, dip, or pour to create a watertight seal that lasts for years. With Flex Shot, you can caulk, bond, and seal out the elements. Simply push the trigger to make quick repairs. And for big damage, there's Flex Tape, the super strong waterproof tape that can patch, bond, seal, and repair. Just like batteries and flashlights, make the Flex Seal family part of your storm preparation kit.
It's amazing out there. It means that you could take what some might call a boring weather day, but find a lot of fascinating aspects. You can look up in the sky and there's something to learn about the clouds or about the precipitation that's falling every single day. There's a lot of amazing stuff happening out there.
Currently in our area, 65 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, morning clouds followed by afternoon sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Tonight, generally clear. Low 62. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mainly sunny. High 93. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Talking travel right now on AMHQ. Are you headed to Phoenix? The heat have you rethinking that trip? Well, if you've got a late afternoon flight into or out of Sky Harbor International Airport today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, American Airlines will let you change your flight without a fee. Not because of thunderstorms, but because of the heat. Phoenix is forecast to be near its record high of 122 at midweek, and American Airlines plans to install cooling stations for tarmac workers.
It's coming off the concrete, comes off our equipment. A lot of the equipment is steel. Obviously, the aircraft coming in from a long flight, the engines are hot.
Back in 1990, officials closed Sky Harbor International Airport because flight manuals didn't tell pilots how aircraft would perform in such extreme temperatures. Manuals have since been updated. Yeah, you do need a little more lift. Sometimes they limit the amount of cargo that can go on planes in heat like this. Also, there can be limits when there's a lot of thunderstorms, too. The Northeast, you might want to change your flight today. And I saw the Delta is allowing some fee-free changes because of the storms that will be affecting us on the I-95 corridor. Whether you're driving or flying, watch out for thunderstorms today. We will see that continue to be a focus here as we fly up here into the D.C. area, continuing to watch for potential thunderstorms into D.C. Severe weather likely into this afternoon and early evening, and we will be watching for the risk of thunderstorms getting into this evening in places like Philadelphia, New York, and up into the Boston area. You know, coming at the tail end of the day, but certainly will be affecting your travel. Potentially that commute home would be the one to watch up towards Boston. You know, because these thunderstorms are expected to be training, meaning moving over the same areas repeatedly, we could be looking at some big rainfall too. Boston, you know, most of your day is dry, but by evening, get ready for some thunderstorms. All right, so we also need to talk tropics. We've got Invest 93L, which is turning in the Gulf of Mexico. Could potentially bring a tropical, subtropical, something to residents of the Gulf Coast. And we want to take into what we are looking at here in terms of the tropics. So we look back into, you know, how often do you see something like this in the tropics? You know, there's on average one storm every 1 to 2 years. Most in 1 year is 3 in 1968. So the season begins June 1st, but it doesn't usually get going until late in the season, August, September, October. Those were our peak months. We look at where we have seen development, though, in June, and of course, it's clustered here closer to home, the Gulf of Mexico, the Western Caribbean. Not much out there in the Atlantic. In fact, only 4 cyclones looking back in history out in the Atlantic. We may have one, though, this year. There's potential tropical cyclone 2, and then, of course, Invest 93L, which is here a bit closer to home. This potential tropical cyclone 2, I got to mention, that's new this year. The fact that the National Hurricane Center will now issue these advisories on a system that is not yet specifically developed, but it has the potential to do so, and there's a time-sensitive reason for that. If there's likely to be tropical storm conditions within 36 or 48 hours and the system hasn't developed yet, they will issue watches and, if necessary, warnings, and also advisories like this. So that's what we have, a potential tropical cyclone 2. Winds right now estimated at 40 miles per hour, moving to the west, racing west at about 23 miles per hour. Models are very similar when it comes to track. In terms of development, there's really a short window, I think, for development. After that, it gets a little more hostile for it to maintain any strength. But there are warnings up. Tropical storm warning for Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and Trinidad and Tobago. Again, and it's still just a potential tropical cyclone. Now, meanwhile, we've got Invest 93L turning in the Gulf of Mexico, potentially bringing weather to the residents of the Gulf Coast. Meteorologist Maria LaRosa explains what you and your family need to do to be prepared before the storm hits.
A hurricane is bearing down on your community. Are you ready? If you live in a hurricane-prone area, you'll want to have a hurricane supply kit and a good plan of action. During a hurricane, you may lose power and plumbing, but you want to have at least 1 gallon of drinking water per person per day for at least 3 days. For a family of 4, that's at least 12 gallons. Buy enough food to get ready for several days. Make sure it's food you actually eat. Other things to have on hand: a battery-powered or hand-crank NOAA weather radio, flashlights, cell phone, chargers, and extra batteries to keep everything running. Keep everyone healthy with a first aid kit, personal sanitation supplies such as moist towelettes and hand sanitizer, as well as a week's supply of any prescription medications you may need. Any important documents in the house, such as insurance policies and bank account records, seal them in a waterproof container before the storm. If you live in an evacuation zone, have your route planned in advance. Know if you're at risk for storm surge flooding, and stay safe this hurricane season.
Another tip, don't forget to fill up on gas. Gas stations typically run out of fuel, or the pumps won't work because the power is out. And coming up on AMHQ Early, we can't take our eyes off the threat of severe weather today. From Alabama to Maine, some 1,200 miles of the country could see severe storms.
Yeah, these new Beneful Break-In Bites are great. They'll break off a couple if you sit, you stay. But if you want all 4, you gotta get cute. You gotta let a baby sleep on your belly.
New Beneful Break-In Bites with real beef as the #1 ingredient.
What does life look like during your period? It looks great with Tampax Pearl. You get ultimate protection on your heaviest days and smooth removal for your lightest. Tampax Pearl and Pocket Pearl for on the go.
To err is human. To anticipate is Lexus. Experience the Lexus RX with advanced safety. Standard. Experience amazing.
Dentures are very different to real teeth. They're about 10 times softer and may have surface pores where bacteria can multiply. Polident kills 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria and helps dissolve stains. That's why I recommend Polident.
Cleaner, fresher, brighter every day.
Managing blood sugar is not a marathon. It's a series of smart choices. And when you replace one meal or snack a day with Glucerna, made with Carb Steady to help minimize blood sugar spikes, you can really feel it. Glucerna, everyday progress.
Having kids makes it tough to find time to deal with home projects like unclogging a drain or painting a room. But thankfully with Home Advisor, it's easy to find a local pro that I can trust because they've been background checked. I can read reviews, compare prices, and even book an appointment online. It's kind of amazing that it's completely free to use. It means I have time for more important things, like our newest little addition.
Go to homeadvisor.com now or download the free app.
I was thinking super glue brush.
I like the nozzle.
Brush.
Nozzle.
So
nozzle.
Brush. Gorilla Super Glue, brush and nozzle.
Of course.
Brush for edge-to-edge coverage and nozzle for precise application, all in one for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh ham has no added nitrates, or artificial preservatives. Now it's good for us all, like those who like sweet, those who prefer heat, and those who just love meat. Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh.
Sweet.
Think your heartburn pill works fast? Take the Zantac It Challenge. Zantac works in as little as 30 minutes. Nexium can take 24 hours. When heartburn strikes, take Zantac for faster relief than Nexium or your money back. Take the Zantac It Challenge.
Hi guys, it's great to be here. In the desert, at the mall, on the mountain, at school, at the beach, in the Big Easy. Yeah. Today I want to show you guys the next gen Chevy Equinox. What do you think? That's pretty. Pretty sexy.
It looks aggressive.
But not overbearing.
It's not too big, not too small.
Seems like the perfect car for anybody.
I would take it anywhere.
She's a bad mamma jamma.
Current qualified GM lessees can get this introductory lease on the all-new 2018 Chevy Equinox for around $249 a month. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Okay, movie night. Who sees the remote?
You don't need it. Alexa, search for family movies.
Well, hey.
Wow.
You did that without a remote.
Alexa, play Ghostbusters.
Oh.
Right.
Hey, you guys really have it all figured out, huh? That's what we do. You bought a zoo? It's what we do.
Introducing Dish with Amazon Alexa, letting you control your hopper with just your voice. Dish, tuned into you.
Currently in our area, 65 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, morning clouds followed by afternoon sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Tonight, generally clear. Low 62. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mainly sunny. High 93. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Closed captioning brought to you by Nonex Fungal Nail Clarifying Gel.
Recognize this? It's keratin debris. Nonex clears out keratin debris where nail fungus thrives. With Nonex, your nails look clear and healthy again. Pick up Nonex today.
Welcome back to AMHQ Early. We've got some big developments in the tropics over the weekend. So if you missed it, right now we need to let you know what's happening in the tropics. Vacation plans in Cancun, Mexico. Maybe you have some travel insurance you might want to use. We've got a lot of extra rain out there. Thunderstorm activity right now because of what is Invest 93L. So here's a look at Cancun right now. You can see the waves are a bit up. Certainly nothing severe just yet. This is courtesy of EarthCam. But we do have enhanced thunderstorm activity in the area. And the tropical systems that we have in the tropics, one near the Cancun area, another one out into the central Atlantic, are two that could be interrupting your plans. So Mexico, of course, is one spot that we're watching here in the Yucatan, but also into that western tip of Cuba, and then eventually up here into coastal areas of the U.S. We will see enhanced rainfall. In fact, even yesterday in the Keys, the Florida Keys, Key West reporting wind gusts of 46 miles per hour just because of this enhanced thunderstorm activity. Now, when you look at the circulation right now, it's very broad. It's not organized here into one tight little surface low, but there is a 90% chance within the next 5 days that could happen. And we watch the circulation, the broad circulation, move out into the southern Gulf of Mexico, and that's when we'll see a decent window of time where we have that risk of developing because the wind shear will be low. It will be, of course, above average water temperatures like we've seen. The models have been fairly different, the European over here, the GFS over here, but they're starting to come together a little bit more. So that gives us a little more confidence on where the moisture is going. I think regardless of what happens to this in terms of development, we are going to see an enhanced area of rainfall on the the coast. The GFS puts it a bit more over here into the Florida Panhandle, coastal areas of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and actually hangs it out through the southeast for a couple of days with a lot of moisture there. The European model has always been farther west, but it used to be much farther west, actually. So now it's slightly more in line with where the GFS is, but still has a different area of where the heaviest of rain will be and spreads it out more, sort of shares the wealth along the Gulf Coast. So in terms of how much rain to come, our forecast of a GFS would bring more than a foot of rainfall potentially for some locations right along the Florida Panhandle. And as we look at the RPM model, that's a little more, I think, split in the middle between the two. By as early as tonight, we could see showers and storms moving into areas here right along the Gulf Coast. We also had a lot of heavy rain in the Northeast. The tropical rain, if you want to call it. Streets turned into rivers near Lake Erie yesterday. This is Girard, Pennsylvania, where 3.58 inches of rain fell. We had about 100 homes flooded or had water in the basement in nearby Mill Creek Township. A flash flood warning remains into effect for the area. So that much rain falling in just a couple-hour window is the concern, and that could again happen today. Thunderstorms will again be moving over the same areas. This is our last 24-hour rainfall, and where you have any pops of yellow, and we had that in Ohio and also in western Pennsylvania, that's more than 3 inches. So we saw that in a couple of spots yesterday. Here's where the rain is right now. Some of the same areas are getting more rain, albeit not as heavy, but still getting more rain, where you just picked up inches of rain yesterday. So a couple of showers out there this morning, a few thunderstorms, but we're going to watch for the real thunderstorm activity, the severe potential to take shape later this afternoon. So watch this morning. Rain continues to stream in through West Virginia, central Pennsylvania. As soon as we get some daytime heating to work into this, it's sort of like going to add the heat to the soup, right? Everything starts to cook up. Thunderstorms are going to start to develop, and we will be watching for that moving into Philly, into New York, as early as this afternoon, continuing into the evening. Boston, for you, it's coming in before the sun sets and right around the dinner hour and just after. And then southward here into the mid-Atlantic, you keep some thunderstorms ongoing as well. Severe damaging winds is the main threat with these storms that we will see today, of course, along with the heavy rain. We go coast to coast and check your Monday morning weather headlines. A horrific tragedy in Portugal. A wildfire trapping people trying to escape the flames. 62 people lost their lives Saturday night. Most of this along this stretch of highway. Portugal has been dealing with 100-degree heat, strong winds, and little rain. A devastating story. It was a bit blustery for the final round of the U.S. Open in Wisconsin. Breezy gusts clocked at 30 miles an hour. Brooks Koepka stood up to the winds, scoring his first major PGA championship. What happened up ahead? Here's Rick. All right, so yeah, it was a bit windy into the Midwest yesterday. It also wasn't as humid, too. We lost some of that humidity across the Midwest here, and I think we'll take it, right? It's a lot cooler than it's been lately. Temperatures are in the 60s right now. We've got that west wind or northwest wind. Not to say we won't get a couple of scattered showers today. We still have the influence of that big upper level low that has pulled up into Canada, but we're going to see those showers fewer and farther between, and your air temperatures will be cooler. Your dew points are lower, so it's not the big boomers that we saw last week. Temperatures in Chicago hit 79 degrees with a couple of showers or maybe an isolated thunderstorm coming your way. It can reach temperatures of up to 50,000 degrees. Up next, ways you can protect yourself from one of the top storm-related killers in the U.S.
No! Did you want me to help you clean up? No, I don't need you to do nothing for me. Get out!
I hope Mom's not asleep. It's awfully late for dinner.
Break it fast. Thank you, sweetie. Who wants a cookie?
Jimmy John's. You don't let anything keep you sidelined. That's why you drink Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. For the strength and energy to get back to doing what you love. Ensure, always be you.
Gru, get your mojo back. Become a villain again.
Luca, bueno, Pinu, bueno, Pinu.
Okay, minions, we're going back to villainy.
So, you're villains now?
I mean, hello, sweetie.
Despicable Me 3, rated PG.
Action.
Dogs love my Nutrish treat. Whoa.
New real meat treats from Rachel Ray Nutrish, inspired by recipes from Rachel's Kitchen. U.S. beef or chicken is the first ingredient. Treats from Nutrish. Real recipes, real ingredients, real good.
Away is where curiosity can run its course, where little feet run wild, where laughter runs rampant, and adventure runs in the family. Find your away. For a dealer in the RV that's right for you, visit GoRVing.com.
How are your teeth whiter than mine?
Your strips are slippy, mine are grippy. Crest White Strips stay in place. Crest White Strips professional effects lock in the whitening for a whiter smile.
These aren't going anywhere.
These are. Crest, healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
Wherever you walk, just remember this. Whatever you step on goes on your shoes and ends up on your car's floor. So to perfectly protect your vehicle, you need WeatherTech floor liners. They're laser measured to custom fit and perfectly protect your specific make and model. Order yours at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech floor liners, proudly made in America.
Come boys, let's go. Buddy, leave the car, leave it. Have we got everyone?
The all-new Discovery. Land Rover, above and beyond.
What makes me a weather geek, the fact that I love the weather, especially when it's hitting me in the side of the face.
I'm gonna ride this one out, guys.
Be one of the thousands of weather geeks out there at weloveweather.tv. Currently in our area, 65 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, morning clouds followed by afternoon sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Tonight, generally clear. Tuesday, mainly sunny. High 93. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's about 39 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to AMHQ Early on this Monday. Let's get you out there to hit the road, get to work, or maybe you're starting your vacation. Either way, we've got some rain to talk about. The afternoon drive especially will be wet in the south. Looking right now at I-20 in Shreveport and Atlanta, both spots a good drive this morning. That'll be your best bet. Both for travel on the roads and for air travel, too, because you know those delays start to ramp up as the thunderstorms do throughout the day. Here is a look at the radar right now. We do have a couple of showers, actually, to kick off your morning, mainly northern Alabama and a few around the Jackson, Mississippi area. Through today, watch for additional thunderstorms developing after about 2-3 o'clock this afternoon. You can see it's I-20. It's also I-65 and I-75 that will be affected mostly by these thunderstorms. And then there's the heat. So let's go to the southwest. This is the kind of heat where, you know, your rearview mirror can fall off. If you leave your phone in the car, it's not going to work when you get back in because it will be too overheated. This is a dangerous heat at that because there's an excessive heat warning up for places like Vegas and Phoenix, where your average temperature this time of year is at 100 degrees or higher. So while you expect that, days on end of temperatures hitting 110, 111, 112, 115 plus is going to take a toll. It is overnight temperatures too, not dropping. That's part of the story. 94 degrees is where we are right now in the middle of the night in Vegas. Phoenix, you're up above 90 as well. By the way, Phoenix, that doesn't happen all the time. You might think it does, but it's really only, you know, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 times a summer that your temperature doesn't drop below 90 degrees in Phoenix. So this is significant, and a temperature of 118 would be breaking records as well. 114 in Vegas would be breaking records. Phoenix for us 118 would tie the record for the date set just last year. Tucson, Redding, Sacramento, all looking at potential record highs, or at least coming close to it today and for the next couple of days. It's also Lightning Safety Week. And meteorologist Reynolds Wolf explains what to do should lightning be in the vicinity while you're outdoors.
It powers our homes, lets us see at night. It could even keep someone alive. But when electricity comes in the form of a lightning bolt or a down power line, hey, it's best that you're nowhere nearby. Take this beach scene, for example. Now, watch what happens when lightning strikes the water. The charge is going to spread downward. It's going to do so at several feet. But at the surface, the charge is going to spread at a much greater distance outward to up to maybe 100 feet, perhaps even more. So if you're swimming or you're wading in the water, you could become unconscious. You could even drown. Lightning, by the way, is more likely to strike taller objects like this lifeguard stand and these metal umbrellas. In fact, you're more likely to get struck by the lightning through the process of conduction or ground current than taking on a direct strike. However, you could often become the tallest object in some other places, like a golf course, for example. Yeah, this is actually a dangerous place to be during a thunderstorm. That has nothing to do with the gators or the crazy golf cart you're about to see zip away. Now, when lightning strikes in an area, it can be fatal to up to 100 feet away. It's over, get this, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. I mean, take a look at what it did to the ground. See all those veins moving away from the center of the strike? This branching out has a name. It's called the Lichtenberg figure. It's named after a German scientist, great physicist, and I'll tell you, the physicist would say that if you got a situation like that, you're getting the fusing of soil and sand. It really is quite remarkable. Hey, and speaking of thunder and speaking of lightning, when thunder roars, you need to get indoors. And remember, this goes for a lot of people, those involved in outdoor sports, athletes, and fans, because storms rarely possess just lightning. It has several other features. The storm is causing other problems also. You have strong winds that get down trees, get down power lines. And we know that these spark-spewing lines, they're dangerous, but they can also be active if there aren't any sparks present. So these lines also conduct electricity, and they do it through the ground and through any objects they happen to touch, like a tree, a fence, or a vehicle. You need to stay at least 40 feet away from the line. Also, if you're in a car and that car happens to be touching a live wire, you need to stay inside. Don't touch anything metal and call 911. So don't be a victim when thunder roars, go indoors. And it's a good idea to wait 30 minutes after a storm passes too. And if you do come across some down power lines, let's just assume that it's live and stay at least 40 feet away. Remembering these tips could save your life.
Coming up later on AMHQ, we'll talk to a lightning expert from NOAA about the do's and don'ts as Lightning Safety Week continues here on the Weather Channel. That's coming up at 7:40 Eastern on AMHQ. And in today's Farmers Forecast, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is looking to expand its dredging operations along the Mississippi River. That's causing concern for farmers in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Over the next 40 years, the Corps will need to remove 11 million cubic yards of sand from the Chippewa River to keep the Mississippi as a viable transportation lane. It plans to put the sand and silt on nearby farms, and some farmers are concerned about losing their land.
If this acquisition goes through, everything my grandparents, my father, and my own family have worked for will be gone forever. My very way of life, my livelihood will be taken away from me, my wife, and my daughter.
The Corps has tentatively selected about 470 acres of farmland. We'll be right back in a moment.
Farmers Forecast, powered by Ram Trucks, America's longest lasting pickups.
Long live honor. And long live the truck that salutes those who've built this country. Ram, America's longest lasting pickups.
Now get 0% APR financing for 72 months on 2017 Ram 1500 quad and regular cabs.
Pick a car. Any car.
Just want to find a used car without getting ripped off.
Search millions of used cars and find a great deal at Carfax.com.
That would help. Show me the Carfax.
Only Carfax gives you the most accurate price based on a car's history. Just look at all the great deals.
Thanks, buddy.
Boom.
Show me the Carfax.
Start your used car search and get free Carfax reports at the all-new Carfax.com.
The best way to get together is with the treat. you make together.
You don't let anything keep you sidelined. That's why you drink Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. For the strength and energy to get back to doing what you love. Ensure, always be you.
Managing blood sugar is not a marathon. It's a series of smart choices. And when you replace one meal or snack a day with Glucerna, made with Carb Steady to help minimize blood sugar spikes, you can really feel it. Glucerna, everyday progress.
You get used to food odors in your car. You think it smells fine, but your passengers smell this. New Febreze car with odor clear technology cleans away odors for up to 30 days.
Smells nice.
Breathe happy with new Febreze.
If you like Copperfit before, you're going to love the new Pro.
Introducing the next generation in Copperfit compression garments, Copperfit Pro.
I think the Copperfit Pro is for everybody. They will love this product.
With Copperfit Pro, my mobility has improved tremendously. I'm quicker on the court.
High-performance copper-infused compression, woven with targeted kinesiology technology to aid in faster recovery and performance and guaranteed relief of muscle aches and pains.
What I discovered immediately, the aches and pains diminished. The Copperfit Pro is amazing.
Call 1-800-589-1217 or on the web at copperfitpro.com. Get your elbow or knee sleeve for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
Doesn't matter what you do, just take it to the next level with Copperfit Pro.
Feel the power of Copperfit compression. Live limitless.
Spring is a pretty good season. It's sort of invigorating, and the change in the weather is fascinating.
Spring weather is that transitional season where we start to see thunderstorms develop.
The weather is really changeable in the springtime, and you get pretty exciting storms. I mean, that's something that I just really love.
My appreciation for spring weather has grown immensely at the Weather Channel. Severe weather is so fascinating to see it develop. If you love the weather as much as we do, join us at weloveweather.tv.
Currently in our area, 65 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, morning clouds followed by afternoon sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Tonight, generally clear. Low 62. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mainly sunny. High 93. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
One of those videos. You know, we've seen this before, but it's so crazy every time we see something like this. 4 inches of rain fell this weekend, and then water got trapped underneath the grass. Here in Alamo, Kentucky, the result is called a turf blister. You can see the grass bobbing up and down, kind of like an ocean. Look at that. It seems like there's something under there, right? Moving? Nope, it's just, well, there is, but it's just water. Finally, somebody punctured the turf to let some of the water out. I always think that's hilarious that it grows right back, right? Just the roots reattach themselves, and there you go, you got your turf. All right, so another place that we are going to get a lot of rain is in Cancun. Let's start with a live look right now. We've got temperatures in the upper 70s. So it has been really hot in Cancun. Your daytime temperatures are up in the 90s. Your overnights are not really cooling down much, upper 70s. And now we've got some additional thunderstorms, some enhancement out there because of what's happening in the tropics. We've got this broad area of circulation nearby the Yucatan affecting Cancun. You can see that right here, the brighter colors on the satellite indicating where we've got some thunderstorm activity. So this general area with winds estimated about 40 miles per hour, it's very broad. There's not necessarily a central circulation of low pressure all the way down to the surface, but there's a 90% chance that in the next 5 days we will see that. This is Invest 93L. It moves over into the southern Gulf of Mexico, and it's this area right in here that we could see some development, make it more organized into something that perhaps could be a tropical depression or even a tropical storm. As we look ahead to the forecast models and what they've been saying, I will tell you that overall there had been a big difference. The European was going like this, the GFS was going like this, starting to come more in line, but you can see there's still a decent spread as to if this develops, where would it go? The moisture potential, though, is huge, and both the GFS and the European model have that as a very large area of rainfall, a lot of it over the Gulf of Mexico, thankfully. But when you look at this moisture potential out there, and then you see what affects the coastline from Louisiana right through the Florida Panhandle, the European model just sort of spreads out where we see the rain actually all the way over into Texas, coastal Louisiana. The GFS model takes a bit more moisture actually and brings it in more focused here from coastal Mississippi right over to the Florida Panhandle, and has easily 8 to 12 inches of rain, maybe even 12 to 18 inches of rain locally, which is a lot of rain, especially considering how saturated we have been across this area in the last 10 days. So here's again a look at that enhanced satellite. You can see a broad sense of the rotation, right? It's kind of like that. But when you look at, especially using the visible satellite and some of our other satellites, you still are not finding one defined circulation that has thunderstorms co-located around it. Now let's go out over into the Atlantic. We got another thing to watch. This thing looks more interesting. This is actually potential tropical cyclone 2. It also was Invest 92L. This one is heading over here towards the southern islands. I mean, we're talking Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, even Barbados. You are under a tropical storm warning because of this, and we'll have more analysis on this as we get through the morning. Also, watching thunderstorms today for you, and things can get a little bumpy along the eastern seaboard today. Good morning to you in Charlotte. We look at some thunderstorms popping again, especially into the afternoon and early evening. Severe weather is a possibility too. Again, late afternoon and early evening would be the timing for you. Your morning looking okay. A couple of showers out there. Charlotte, thunderstorms this evening and then overnight tonight. And then again tomorrow, we've got more rain coming back in. A very wet pattern for the southeast over the next couple of days. That's one story. Another story is the fact that there's going to be severe weather, especially today. And we see that potential for us in the mid-Atlantic, Raleigh, North Carolina, getting into this afternoon. The whole triangle area over towards Greenville, maybe even the Outer Banks. Thunderstorms are going to fire into the late afternoon, early evening. Some of these could bring some very strong damaging winds. That would be the concern getting into this area. Also heavy rain, though, too. Philadelphia, let's time things out for you. The morning's fine. Thunderstorms start tracking in mid-morning, and then the big round coming in this afternoon. These are the ones that could bring some very strong damaging winds and also some very heavy rain. Have you noticed how many times showers are coming through Philadelphia today? You get one round this morning, another round this afternoon, another round this evening, and all have big rain potential. So too much rain could cause some flash flooding issues. We'll keep an eye on that. Albany, New York, you've got a similar situation where you're going to get multiple rounds of thunderstorms coming in. There is the potential for the afternoon and early evening ones to bring severe weather. Damaging winds would be the main risk here, but there's an isolated tornado risk, and there's also an isolated risk for some large hail as well. Boston will spend most of our day just fine, but we see the thunderstorms tracking in early this evening and continuing into the overnight. Now, one of the places we're keeping an eye on severe weather for the Northeast is New York City, and Stephanie Abrams is live in New York ahead of the storms. Steph.
Yes, Jen, good morning to you and good morning to you at home. Right now, it's a little deceiving out here because there's just a few scattered clouds and blue skies, but a big squall line's coming through later today. Details next.
Hi guys, it's great to be here. In the desert, at the mall, on the mountain, at school, at the beach, in the Big Easy. Yeah. Today I want to show you guys the next gen Chevy Equinox. What do you think? That's pretty. Pretty sexy.
It looks aggressive.
But not overbearing.
It's not too big, not too small.
Seems like the perfect car for anybody.
I would take it anyway.
She's a bad mamma jamma.
Current qualified GM lessees can get this introductory lease on the all-new 2018 Chevy Equinox for around $249 a month. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Managing blood sugar is not a marathon. It's a series of smart choices. And when you replace one meal or snack a day with Glucerna, made with Carb Steady to help minimize blood sugar spikes, you can really feel it. Glucerna, everyday progress.
Will you be ready when the moment turns romantic? Cialis for daily use treats ED and the urinary symptoms of BPH. Tell your doctor about your medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have a sudden decrease or loss of hearing or vision or an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis.
Dentures are very different to real teeth. They're about 10 times softer and may have surface pores where bacteria can multiply. Polident kills 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria and helps dissolve stains. So dentures are cleaner, fresher, and brighter.
Polident. I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend a Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. Thankfully, there's Home Advisor. A Home Advisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. They have verified reviews of the pros, and they do background checks, so you know you can trust them with your home. You can compare prices, book appointments, and what my wife loves most is that Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app.
Okay, movie night. Who sees the remote?
You don't need it. Alexa, search for family movies.
Well, hey.
Wow.
You did that without a remote.
Alexa, play Ghostbusters.
Oh.
Right.
Hey, you guys really have it all figured out, huh?
That's what we do.
You bought a zoo?
It's what we do.
Introducing Dish with Amazon Alexa, letting you control your hopper with just your voice. Dish, tuned into you.
You can see what you like. You're not mine, 'cause I've heard it before 1,000 times. You can break my bones, but you'll never.
While other insurance companies just see a truck, we see something you've worked really hard for. So why not give it the protection it deserves?
It's just what you see.
Discover card. I'm not a customer, but I'm calling about that credit scorecard. Give it? Sure, it's free for everyone. Oh, well, that's nice. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. Oh! I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you. Free at discover.com/credit scorecard, even if you're not a customer.
It's the simple things in life that mean the most.
Boost Simply Complete. No artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners, plus 10 grams of protein and 25 vitamins and minerals.
It doesn't get better than this.
Boost Simply Complete.
Carl's going to the chalkboard to teach us something here.
And this is going to be fun stuff.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 65 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, morning clouds followed by afternoon sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 86. Tonight, generally clear. Low 62. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mainly sunny. High 93. Winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And right now on AMHQ, happy Monday, by the way, we are watching two areas in the tropics, two very different systems. The one closest to home, NHC gives a 90% chance of developing, and frankly, whether it develops or not, the impacts will be the same. Jen.
All right, the question is, though, where will it head? From Texas to the west coast of Florida, someone could get slammed with over 1.5 feet of rain. Expert analysis ahead as we track the tropics. Steph.
And the trough that is going to bring us severe weather in the northeast later today, this afternoon into tonight actually could affect the path of that tropical entity. AMHQ starts right now. Good morning to you. I am meteorologist Stephanie Abrams live here in New York City as we are going to see very strong storms blast through this afternoon. The threat for flash flooding also exists. But how will the trough here in the Midwest and the Northeast affect that tropical entity? Jen's going to start us off.
It's very interesting, actually, two believable scenarios, two different scenarios of what could happen to the path of this thing, which will start by showing you what's happening in the Keys. We had some heavy rain and some gusty winds battering the Florida Keys yesterday, winds gusting over 40 miles per hour. Somewhat related, right? This is just a broad circulation right now. You've also got a live look for you at Cancun, Cozumel, Mexico, all places that could see impacts with an enhanced area of thunderstorms. So, Jim, Invest 93L, what are the options for where it could go?
Well, I mean, it's got to go northward eventually. And the big question is, do we actually get a low pressure develop out of this? The low pressure itself is kind of elongated. It's sitting over the northern Yucatan and extends out in the northern Gulf of Mexico. God, it's freaking me out not drawing this morning. But anyway, all of this is right side loaded. In other words, all the moisture is on the eastern side of this. And you can already see with an upper low to the west, the steering is taking that moisture onto the north. A lot of this has been heavy rain, as we've been talking about in the Western Caribbean. Still a 90% chance of a tropical cyclone in through here. But I think a better chance, 100% chance, that we're going to get a lot of rain as this goes to the northern Gulf of Mexico. What's interesting is it may take a couple of days because the atmospheric steering has to evolve first. What is going to happen here? Are we going to just watch the whole thing just lift out with part of the trough that Steph was talking about? Or are we going to watch a piece of that trough kind of break out and then have this thing go more north and then west, as the Europeans suggest? So there's a lot of different scenarios, but I think at the bottom line is both models bring the moisture onto the north. All right, so this is good. This is the streamlines, the surface winds, if you will, versus the convection. So you'll notice that the trough and the low are west of the convection. So it's lopsided, and you're going to find that, I think, frankly, throughout the lifestyle of this thing. Shear is very, very, if the low itself was up in here, there wouldn't be anything. And this thing is going to fight. You know, if you look at the models, even, you know, regardless of where they exactly bring it, the TCVN, by the way, is a blend of the globals, which is what I like to watch. But even the HWRF, very, very close by, it's going to fight shear throughout its lifetime. So whether it develops or not is really what I want to say, kind of take a back seat to what the impacts may be. So here's the GFS. I want to show you the steering. The same weakness